and it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good.
Right.
Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good.
Pedophilia is very prevalent today. As a future mother, aunt, and previous school teacher, I want to protect our future generation. Now, people today are saying that pedophilia is okay, that we need to change our mindset. But I'm here to talk to you today about how it's not okay and how we need to educate our children and protect them from these problems. Now, I want to go over the arguments people have for pedophilia and the reasons why it really is not okay, and what are some possible solutions and actions to take. Now, to start off with, I'm going to go back to the video you just watched. Oprah Winfrey goes on about how this child, 7 years old, gets his private area stroked. It felt good. Now, he just doesn't have a name for this feeling, but the child felt good. And they didn't know better, but they need to learn this feeling. But I don't know if that's really true. Which brings me to my second point, that it's a natural emotion for pedophilias to have this attraction to young children. And actually, Mary Jane Heim, in a TED Talk in 2018, goes over how there's a difference between sexual abusers and between pedophiles. Pedophiles are people who have this mental attraction, chemical attraction to young children. But child sexual abusers are people who actually act on it. She said that there is a difference between the two because one is just a feeling and one is just the action. She said that it is kind of like the LGBTQ community, where it is a chemical imbalance and that it is a natural emotion that they should be allowed to act upon because it is different. She said that we need to change our perspectives because they are just like anybody else and that they deserve to be happy and love who you love. But is that okay? Which now brings me to my arguments of just why these really aren't okay. I'm going to go back to the Oprah Winfrey video. She said, repeat it, that this kid didn't have a name for a really good feeling from this guy stroking his private area. Does kids know better? No, they don't. But according to the University of Rochester Medical Center, they said that children do not fully develop, brains do not fully develop until the age of 25. Therefore, from the age of 25 under, they do not have the mental capacity to be able to consent to those actions and to those feelings. They really don't have the mature capacity to understand it, and they really shouldn't until they do get older. Now, here's the problem though. Kids are being raped and they are getting molested by these pedophiles as young as the age of 3 months old. There's a case, Earl Bradley, that his youngest child was 3 months old. There is no way that a 3-month-old child would be able to consent to such actions and such feelings. They don't know better. Like I said, their brains do not fully develop until the age of 25, and which brings me to my next point is, if pedophilia is okay, does that mean rape is as well? You hear about people standing up for and against women being raped all the time. But is that the same situation as kids where they don't know better, but it's these pedophiles who have this emotion and they need to act upon it and they should be allowed to, and it's okay, we need to teach our kids that about this feeling anyways? Is it the same for older women, older men who are raped on a constant daily basis and people are saying that it's not okay? Where's the line drawn at? And now it brings me to my solutions. My first solution is that we should teach our children about the proper private parts, areas, and names. So Dos Santos is a social worker, actually, who deals every single day with children being abused. Now, there's one story in particular that she shared with everyone, and it was about this young girl who told her teacher that her uncle licked her cookie. Well, teacher says, okay, well, just ask your uncle to give you another cookie. Well, months go on by, and the teacher finally has a conference with the mother, and the mother starts going on about how the child's getting rashes near her cookie. And that's when the teacher realized what cookie actually meant. If we teach our kids now, from a young age, what it actually is, it's a vagina, it's a penis. And if we teach them these proper languages, they'll have clear communication with future adults. If there is actually a problem, they're too scared to come to their own parents, they can tell their teacher, this happened to me here, or this happened to me there. And if they have that proper communication, there's months and months that are avoided from it ever happening again. And then that actually brings me to my second point. Educate those around you and fight for your children's rights. Too many times today, people are saying they're just children, they don't need that many rights, or people just, they're trying to educate themselves in a way that everyone needs to be happy. And like I said before, from the Virgin Pine TED Talk, that these pedophiles deserve the right to be happy and to love who they want to love. But now we need to stand up for our children. And we need to spread the word, whether it's by social media, talking to your congressman, your mayor, your friend, your neighbor, going out and protesting for your children to show your support and your love for them. Now, while some say that pedophilia is okay, there are many reasons why it's not. And there are actions we can take to help solve this problem. Like I said before, while people will argue and argue and argue that pedophilia is okay, we need to protect and teach our children that it is not. Stop letting people take advantage of our children, and let's protect our future generation.